Hey guys, this is Daniel here. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about private functions and why it's probably the easiest way to scale your hospitality business today. If you don't know me, as I said, my name is Daniel. I run a business here based in New Zealand that focuses on helping hospo businesses scale the private function side of their business. And we can't work with everybody, nor does everybody want to work with us. But over the years, we've learned some pretty cool tips and tricks that I wanted to share and document in these videos. And hopefully they'll help you out in some way. Okay, so why private functions? What makes a private function so attractive for a hospitality business? Well, there's a lot of different reasons. They're easy to deliver, less staffing pressure required to make the event actually happen. You can forecast revenue because they're paid in advance. There's a lot of benefits, but probably the biggest one I would say is their high ticket sales. What I mean by high ticket sales is traditionally in hospo, you might get a customer come into the business and how much would they spend? $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, maybe $100, maybe up to $200 at some of the very premier hospitality businesses. But a private function, you're probably dealing with one person who's planning the event, like the host of the event, and you'll probably be doing a transaction with that person. And the value of that transaction can range anywhere from, $1,000 up to $20,000, depending on the type of event that people are having, even beyond, for big weddings. Small birthday parties all the way up to, massive weddings. And because they're such high spend, let's say on average, a function might generate $3,000 in revenue, maybe $4,000, maybe $5,000. These are what we would call high ticket sales. Okay, and with a high ticket sale, it allows you to actually have a bit of a marketing spend allocated that essentially you're willing to spend money to acquire a piece of business. Why are you willing to do that? Because that piece of business is worth so much. The amount that you're willing to spend to acquire a customer that's going to spend $20 is not very much, but the amount of money you're willing to spend to acquire a customer that spends maybe $3,000, $4,000, or $5,000 is much more. And we live in like a unique time. Okay, 20 years ago we couldn't really take many actions to generate more private functions like this. There wasn't too many things we could do, but today we've got social media, we've got paid advertising, and what that means is we can actually spend money on advertising to acquire a sales conversation and turn that sales conversation or inquiry into a piece of business. And we couldn't do this 20 years ago, but today, because we have high ticket sales, we can actually spend money and generate private function business. So theoretically, we can buy private functions, which is awesome, right? You could never do that. And if you can buy private functions profitably, then there is no such thing as a marketing budget in your business, because you probably want to spend as much money as you can on advertising, because every dollar that you put into your advertising generates much more than $1 out. You might be putting in $1 and generating $5 out. Maybe you put in $1, generate $10 out. It all depends on your margins and your price point. But this is great because you can sort of build a money printing machine, so to say, which you could never do before. That only happens because private functions are high ticket sales and are probably the only high ticket sales element to a hospo business. Okay, so that's why we really like private functions. There's a lot of low hanging fruit in the private function space. So if you can position your venue as a good private function spot, and you have a marketing and sales strategy that you can spend money on advertising to acquire business profitably, you can scale your business as much as you want, and you have no need for a marketing budget because you want to spend as much money as you can, because you get $5 or $10 out for every dollar you spend. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Just wanted to play with some, mental frameworks about how you can think about this sort of stuff. And it's very different to traditional hospitality marketing or hospitality thinking. Okay, hope that made sense to somebody. Cheers.